Hi, boys and girls. Welcome to the second week in May. It is time for a Mother's Day book. This one today is called The Mother's Day Mice. It's by Eve Bunting and illustrated by Jan Brett. We've talked before how Jan Brett used to illustrate a lot of Eve Bunting's books before she started doing her own with The Mitten and the Hat, which you've all read. So here's our Mother's Day book, The Mother's Day Mice. Biggest little mouse awakened first. It was early morning and still dark. He tugged gently on the whiskers of Middle Mouse, who slept next to him. "It's Mother's Day," he whispered. "Time to get up and get our presents." Middle Mouse tugged gently on the whiskers of Little Mouse, who slept between him and the wall. "Mother's Day," he whispered. They crept out of bed and tiptoed past Mother's room. Outside, one small star still slept in the sky. They stopped to wash paws and faces in the pail of water Mother kept by the front door. Biggest studied his watch. "We have 2 hours before Mother wakes up. Middle and I know what we're getting for her and where to find it." He looked at Little Mouse and waited. "I know what I'm getting too," said Littlest Mouse. "Honeysuckle." Biggest shook his head. "Little Mouse, honeysuckle grows only on Honeysuckle Cottage, and you know who lives in Honeysuckle Cottage. You'll have to find something else for Mother." Little Mouse wanted to argue, but Biggest was already lining them up, one behind each other. "Hold tails and be quiet as we go," he said. "The dark has dangers for little mice." They ran across the meadow. Little Mouse liked the tough, smooth feel of Brother's tail. He thought about the 3 of them joined together. Must be as long as a snake. He didn't want to think about snakes, though. And look, here's a snake right here. And we all know that snakes eat mice, don't we? The edges of the sky were streaked with morning. A red fox passed them by on his way home. They crouched till the white tip of his tail disappeared in the trees. "Grrr," Little Mouse said fiercely. "Who's afraid of him?" But his voice was so weak and quiet he couldn't hear it himself. An owl sheared above them as he lay hidden in the grass. Little Mouse kept his eyes closed tight. If he couldn't see the owl, maybe the owl wouldn't see him. "You didn't have to squeeze my tail so hard," Middle Mouse told him when he stood up. "I thought you might be frightened," Little Mouse said. "I was letting you know I was here." Middle Mouse sniffed. A strawberry patch grew at the edge of the meadow. "That's my surprise for Mother," Middle Mouse said. "She loves strawberries. She says the first one's taste of summer coming." Biggest Mouse boosted him up so he could get the roundest, reddest berry from the top. Its weight tipped him backward as he carried it. "My surprise is here too," Biggest Mouse said. He picked a dandelion fluff ball and held it high by its stem. "It's a wish flower for Mother." Little Mouse thought the fluff ball was as beautiful as the spinning of spiderwebs. He could see the sky through it. "Mother will love it," said Little Mouse. "Now can we go for her honeysuckle? We have time, and maybe he won't be there." Biggest Mouse sighed. "We'll go look, but only because it's Mother's Day, and you're the littlest. But we won't go close. Cat is always there." And there you can see Cat right there on the porch. Cat was there. He lay on the porch of Honeysuckle Cottage, monstrously big, monstrously black. When he yawned, his mouth was a dark, spiked cave. Little Mouse could see it clearly, even though they weren't too close. "Maybe he'll leave soon," Little Mouse whispered. He pulled his eyes away from Cat to see the honeysuckle for Mother. Inside the cottage, someone was playing a piano. The tune was "Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star." Dum-dee-dum-dee-dum-dee-dum, dum-dee-dum-dee-dum-dee-da. "Maybe Cat likes to lie in the sun and listen to music," Little Mouse whispered. "Maybe the person will stop playing soon and Cat will go away." He sniffed the honeysuckle air and pretended not to see Biggest Mouse check the time. "Dum-dee-dum-dee-dum-dee-da." "That person is not going to stop playing," Middle Middle muttered. He set his strawberry on the ground, and a beetle came on the run. Middle picked it up and shooed the beetle away. Little Mouse began creeping toward the cottage on his belly. Biggest yanked him back by his tail. Stop that! Anyway, it's time to go. What if Mother wakes up on Mother's Day and all her little mice are missing? Or eaten, said Middle. We have to go, Biggest said. I'm sorry, Little Mouse. But inside Little Mouse's head, something had started to beat. Something that was the beginning of an idea. Something better than honeysuckle. It's all right, Little Mouse said. The sun made a pink path across the meadow as they ran for home. Bring her a daisy, Biggest said over his shoulder. She likes daisies. Bring her a rock, Middle puffed. A small rock that's not too hard to carry. They're nice, Little Mouse said, but not nice enough for Mother's Day. He had something special, though. He had it strong and firm in his mind when they got home. Did you notice the frog? Biggest stood the fluff ball in a jar beside Mother's chair. Middle put the strawberry on a blue dish on the table. I'm glad I didn't roll it, he said. Sometimes I wanted to, but I carried it all the way and it isn't even squished. He glanced sideways at Little Mouse. The strawberry can be from you too, Little Mouse, and the fluff ball will be from both of us, Biggest added. But Little Mouse smiled. Thank you, he said, but I brought something special of my own. He thought it was funny when the boys looked all around and rolled their eyes at each other. Something I kept hidden. Biggest Mouse held up a warning paw. Shh, Mother's coming. Happy Mother's Day, they shouted when she came into the room, and Mother said, why, you remembered. Remembered, we almost got eaten 3, Middle began, but Biggest poked him hard. Sometimes Middle talked too much. Mother blew on the fluff ball and it exploded into a million beautiful feathery seeds. Did you make a wish? Biggest asked. Yes, a wonderful wish. Mother cut the strawberry in 4 pieces. I love strawberries, she said. The first one's taste of summer coming. She nibbled on the edge of the berry and closed her eyes, and Little Mouse knew she was tasting sunshine and sweet corn and the cold water of Meadow Stream. Down me, he said. He was so excited he thought he might explode, like the fluff ball, into a million pieces. The music he heard at Honeysuckle Cottage was loud in his mind, and he clasped his paws and began to sing. He sung the words he thought of as they ran home. We have brought a song to say, happy, happy Mother's Day. No one's mother is so nice, love from all your little mice. That was wonderful, his mother said when he'd finished. How astonished his brothers were. They thought he had nothing, and all this time he'd had this. Was it better than honeysuckle? Little Mouse asked. Much better, Mother said. Honeysuckle doesn't last, but a song does. Was it the best of all your surprises? As soon as he asked it, Little Mouse felt mean. The song is from all of us, he added quickly. Mother smiled. All my surprises were lovely. You each brought me something different, and each brought me something the same. Do you know what that is, Little Mouse? Little Mouse knew. They'd each brought her their love. Mother opened her eyes wide, and they ran to her. Let's sing Little Mouse's song, she said. Mother and her 3 little mice swayed together as they sang, and the kitchen was warm with wishes and summer coming and music and love. Don't forget to tell your parents, your moms, and your grandmas and your aunts, Happy Mother's Day. Bye, boys and girls.